The movie begins and we see a sister named Fernanda. Fernanda was going to the church with her donkey here. On reaching the church, another sister named Ginevra comes near Fernanda. Ginevra tells Fernanda, "Where were you last night?" On this, Fernanda tells that her donkey ran away from the church last night, and she went to catch him. Ginevra says, "Why does your donkey run every night at night?" These two were talking. That's when Lurko, the gardener of the church, comes here. Lurko says good morning to both of them, but they both abuse Lurko. Next we see Sister Alessandra, that was sitting in her room. Alessandra was tired of church life, so she wants to leave here and live her life well. The next day Alessandra's father Ilario comes to meet him. He says Alessandra, that no boy is being found for his marriage, because the boys are asking for a lot of dowry. On this, Alessandra says that if you stop giving dowry in the church, then you will have money left, but Ilario refuses to do so, because doing so will lower the honor of his family. The next day we see the three sisters together, who was going somewhere. On the way, they see them Lurko, who was looking at them with dirty eyes. The three sisters don't like all this, and together they beat up Lurko. On the other hand, we see Father Tommaso, who was going to sell clothes woven by the sisters. On the way Lurko meets Father. Lurko says, that now it will not work in this church, because the sisters here kills him, and abused him. Father Tommaso apologizes to this, and says that it will not happen now. You do not go from here, but Lurko does not listen to the father, and leaves from here. In the next scene we see Lord Bruno having dinner with his wife, Francesca. Bruno was telling his wife about the battles he had won, but his wife does not listen to this, because she was looking at Macedo, the servant standing beside her. Both gesture to each other. At night we see the Macedo with Francesca on her bed, both talking to each other. Francesca says that her husband Bruno is of no use, because he is not able to satisfy her. Hearing this, the Macedo says, let's do one more round. Bruno enters the room while getting physical. Seeing Bruno, the Macedo runs through the window. Bruno can't see her face. Macedo comes to the servant's room and pretends to sleep. Bruno comes here. Bruno puts his hands on all the servants' chests, and it knows who it is that just came here after running. Macedo came running, so its heartbeat was very fast. It was dark here, so Bruno couldn't see the face of who he was. Bruno cuts the Macedo's hair here, so that in the morning it will know who it is. Macedo wakes up after Bruno leaves. Macedo cuts off the hair of all the sleeping servants in the room. In the morning when Bruno comes to catch the servant, he sees that all the servants have their hair cut here. In the morning Francesca comes to her servant Macedo. Francesca forcefully starts kissing the Macedo. All these things Lord Bruno was watching from above. Bruno asks his Scalzer to capture Macedo. Macedo runs away to the forest to save his life. In the forest Macedo sees Father Tommaso. Father Tommaso was drunk, because of which all its clothes were flowing in the water. Macedo helps them. Father Tommaso brings Macedo with him to the church. On the way, Father explains to Macedo that in the church you have to remain dumb and deaf, otherwise the sisters of the church will trouble you. The next morning, upon reaching the church, Tommaso and Macedo meet Maria. Maria refuses Macedo from being in the church, but Tommaso says that this boy is dumb and deaf, so Maria gives him the job of a gardener in the church. Macedo was doing his work when Sister Fernanda comes here. Fernanda angrily asks Macedo about him. Actually she did not know Macedo. Suddenly then Sister Maria comes here and tells her that this is the new gardener Macedo, who is a dumb deaf. In the night, Marta, a friend of Fernando's, comes to visit her. Both of them come to Alessandra's room and have a drink. After some time Ginevra also joins them. While drinking, these four adults talk. Marta tells them about sex. After getting too drunk, Fernanda and Ginevra kiss each other and get physical. The next day Macedo was doing his work when Alessandra comes here. Alessandra talks to Macedo. Alessandra loses control over herself, and she starts kissing Macedo. Macedo also takes full advantage of this opportunity, and enjoys. Just then the church bell rings, due to which Alessandra leaves from here. Here Fernanda and Ginevra were cleaning clothes. When Alessandra comes here, these three were talking about last night, and they say that they had a lot of fun yesterday. Fernanda asks Alessandra, how did your clothes get so dirty? Alessandra says she was helping him dig the pit with that dumb Macedo. Hearing this, Ginevra and Fernanda could not believe it, because they had never seen Alessandra working before. One day, Ginevra sees Fernanda and her friend Marta going into the forest together. Ginevra hides and follows them. Ginevra sees that these two were making belladonna together. Friends, if you do not know what belladonna is, then let me tell you that belladonna is a leaf. These people believe that by using belladonna, men can be attracted towards them. Marta puts a few drops of belladonna in Fernanda's eye, and after making a small cut in her finger, begins to drink its blood. These all things Ginevra was looking at hiding here. Marta and Fernanda comes into Macedo's room. Macedo was sleeping here, both of them forcefully with Macedo. Macedo doesn't stop them, and he enjoys them here. They both leave after getting physical. The next day the bishop comes to the church. Maria and Tommaso welcome them. On the other hand, Macedo comes to Alessandra's room. Macedo starts getting physical with him. Only then an old nun comes in the room. On seeing that nun, Macedo says, "Oh shit." Alessandra is quite surprised to hear this. Alessandra quickly puts on her clothes and starts helping the old nun. Macedo hides under the bed here. This old nun did not see these two. Macedo was about to leave. That's when Maria comes to the room with Bishop. Seeing them, Macedo hides under the bed again. After everyone leaves, Macedo also goes out the window. Next we see Ginevra, who was single-handedly making belladonna. Ginevra doesn't put belladonna in the eyes. Rather, it drinks it. By drinking belladonna, the Ginevra's mind starts spinning. Ginevra bites her hand, and she puts her blood on her face. Alessandra comes to Macedo. She asks him, why did he lie to him that he is dumb and deaf? Macedo would say something, that only then comes the Ginevra here. Seeing the Ginevra, Alessandra hides in the corner. As soon as belladonna's drunk, Ginevra enters the room. She starts kissing Macedo. When Ginevra hears Fernanda's voice, Ginevra quickly runs away and hides in the corner. Here Ginevra sees Alessandra. Both are surprised to see each other. Fernanda comes to the room. Fernanda ties Macedo and takes it to the forest. Alessandra and Ginevra follow him. In the forest, both of them see that a lot of witches were dancing around the fire, burning the fire. Next to them was the Macedo, which they had tied up. Seeing all this, Alessandra and Ginevra understand that, together with these people, Fernanda will sacrifice Macedo here. Marta was about to kill Macedo. That's when Ginevra comes here. Ginevra starts killing those witches. Marta tries to stop Ginevra, but Ginevra kills Marta with something, and makes her unconscious. Alessandra also comes here, who stops Fernanda from killing Macedo. Macedo tells his truth here, and says that this is not a dumb deaf. Hearing this, Ginevra runs towards the church. In the church, Ginevra screams loudly. Everyone gets up after hearing the noise. Ginevra tells the bishop that Fernanda is a witch. Fernanda, Alessandra and Macedo also come to the church. The bishop calls out Sister Maria. Sister Maria comes out of the room. Father Tommaso also comes out of Maria's room. Everyone is surprised to see this sight. The next day Bishop punishes everyone. Bishop makes Father Tommaso a monk and transfers him to another church, where only men live. Macedo is sent to his king Lord Bruno. Bruno locks Macedo in the dungeon. All three hot sisters apologize to each other for their behavior. All three of them miss Macedo a lot, while Macedo was serving his sentence in the dungeon. Here comes Bruno. Bruno says that he has kept his wife Francesca tied up with pigs and dogs. Bruno says that he will keep Macedo alive as long as he feels like it. After that he will kill him. After Bruno's departure comes a tortoise in the dungeon. A candle was placed over this turtle. This turtle was sent here by those three sisters, so that the attention of the soldiers present in the dungeon could be distracted. The soldiers go after that turtle. Here these three sisters come to Macedo and take it from here wearing a nun's clothes. Ginevra puts an effigy in place of Macedo. Seeing the effigy, the soldiers understood that there is Macedo inside. These four run away from here to the forest. There Maria meets Father Tommaso. Both of them are very happy to see each other. Both kiss each other. And with this the movie ends here. Thanks for watching guys.